All right, everyone. Welcome to another version of Ball Cap Bible Study. I'm Wade Cruz, pastor for senior adults at Quail Springs Baptist Church. Today we're rocking the Polo Bear ball cap, so we'll have a good time. We're studying the seven churches in the book of Revelation, and we've gone over the preliminary things with Revelation, that description of Jesus kind of as a judge, but also who walks through the candlesticks, candlestands, lampstands, which are the seven churches. He holds the stars or the messengers or the pastors in his hand. The seven letters to the seven churches are interesting because seven's that number of completeness. John's on the island of Patmos. He is exiled there for standing up for Christ. We're going to see today in the letter to this certain church that's what he expects. So the letters talk about how he knows our deeds. He sees what we do. He agrees with certain things that we stand for, doesn't like other things we do. So many of you know I am fairly ornery at times, and we just took a trip to Branson, and we were at one of the shows, and there was a lady in a wheelchair. She had 1.4 legs. She only had one leg, but she could really use it to scoot around really well in her chair. And but she was at the concession stand, and she was getting two popcorns, two Cokes, straws, napkins, all stuff, and she had to like reach way up on the counter. And she goes, "Oh, I can't carry all this." And so I said, "Would you like me to help you?" And she goes, "Yes, would you please?" And she was, not very big. And I mean, the wheelchair looked huge with her in it, but she could take that one leg and she could really, just scoot that wheelchair with that one leg. It was crazy. But so I'm carrying her Cokes and straws, and she's got her popcorn, and I've got napkins and all that stuff. And as she's going, sorry, forgive me, I really did this. She's kind of heading over to the stairs, and I said, "Where are you sitting, in the balcony?" And she goes, "No." And so I said, it was just a joke, lady. I was just playing. So anyway, we went and got her sat down and stuff. But some people don't know how to take me, and some people don't know how to take the seven letters to the seven churches. Now, it's the number of completion. We can go into the history. We can go into the churches. The first one's to Ephesus because it's literally the closest church. It's a circular letter, but many scholars believe that the seven letters have about three or four different things to them. Now, I will say this. They hear me when I say this. God invented geometry so he can come at us from any angle he wants to. Does that make sense? Celinda Ferguson, I hope you heard that. She's my ninth grade geometry teacher who gets this ball cap Bible study. God invented geometry so he can come at us from any angle he wants to. And that's what we see. We see a bunch of directions, a bunch of different perspectives. Now, the scholars will say that the seven letters are historical. They actually happened. There were actually churches. What's interesting is he warns a few of the churches, "I'll take out your lampstand." Well, guess what? None of them exist anymore. All those lampstands have been taken out, for various reasons, and maybe not even something they did that they deserve, but just the way mankind goes. So they're actual letters to actual churches 2,000 years ago. But many scholars also believe that they are messages to the eras of the church age. I'm not telling you what to believe. I can see that in there. That letter to Ephesus was to that first church that was on fire and couldn't stand people that didn't love the Lord, and and kind of the zealous church, that first, how the church explodes on the scene and does all sorts of stuff. But then the second letter, the second era, if you will, is the persecuted church. Oh, my cat just came in. Something scared her outside. But the persecuted church, the church that maybe during that time of Nero, when it's a little graphic, sorry, but what really happened to Christians in 100 AD or so, they were dipped in tar, impaled on spikes, set on fire, and used as street lamps along the roads in Rome. So not good, not cool at all. But when we see this letter, I just want us to think, wow, so there's also life application, your personal, how do the letters speak to, so the church then at the time, the era of the church as we see the church march through time, the church today, and then you personally. So how does that work? How does all of that come together and apply for me and for you? So here's a question before we get into, well, you know what? I'll save it for the last because it's. I hope I remember, but it's poignant. So, okay, we talked about the church at Ephesus. Today, we're talking about the church at Smyrna, Smyrna, Smyrna. So just get a map, Google 7 churches in Revelation and look where they are, and you can see. So listen to this. To the angel of the church in Smyrna, right? The first and the last. Now, every time Jesus describes himself to a church, he uses a little portion of the entire description that he gave to John. So Alpha and Omega, first and last. This is supposed to be an encouraging letter. And to the angel of the church of Smyrna, right, the first and the last, who was dead and has come to life, says, you see how that would encourage you? He has overcome death. He has defeated sin. I know your tribulation and your poverty, but you really are rich. And the blasphemy by those who say they are Jews and are not, but are a synagogue of Satan. Do not fear what you are about to suffer. He's like, I know what you've been going through, but it's about to get worse. Do not fear what you are about to suffer. Behold, the devil is about to cast some of you into prison so that you will be tested, and you will have tribulation for 10 days. I don't know if 10 days is literal or if it's apocalyptic writing. So the word apocalypse back in the old Greek, it really meant to reveal. That's where we get the word revelation. He says, be faithful until death. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. He who overcomes will not be hurt by the second death. Just yesterday, I did a deathbed visit with somebody who died 3 hours after I left the room. But that's a good thing because we prayed, Maranatha, Lord, come quickly, take him now. I mean, literally, as I'm walking out, I won't say his name, but I'm like, all right, you can go. See you in heaven. Don't hang around for us. Get out of here. It's better where you're going. Now, this church in Smyrna, no condemnation. Jesus does not say, but this I have against you. Because think about it. Like in the end of the Beatitudes, blessed are those who are persecuted for my name's sake and who are called all sorts of things and all sorts of stuff comes against them. So here's the question. How am I like Smyrna with no condemnation? I don't feel like I'm persecuted that much. I feel, a general sense of oppression from the state or from, culture, but I'm not persecuted. I've never had to go to jail because I took a stand for Christ. Will I ever have to? I don't know. But am I willing to? What's my heart? Am I willing to take a stand for righteousness? Am I willing to be persecuted for the name of Christ? Not intentionally. God doesn't want us going out and looking for a fight, but he also doesn't want us running from one. If somebody slaps you on the right cheek, turn them to the other one. Because, it just says, I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. What's that persecuted church? So here's the challenge. I'll close with this. What would a letter to the church in America sound like? What would Jesus say to us today? What would he praise us for? What would he agree with us with in our stand? What would he condemn us for? And what would he say we better do, or he'll take out our lampstand? So Smyrna, no condemnation, no taking out of the lampstand, no, they're not doing anything wrong. I mean, they're getting beat up. So, whether you believe in the church era idea or not a big deal to me. But how would you apply this personally? How am I like Smyrna? How am I, worthy of no condemnation? I'm not, number one. But, when was the last time I got persecuted or somebody, came against me because of my faith, my belief system, what I know to be true? We're seeing it around the country. We're seeing lies being perpetrated and being said against the church. But so that's the thing. God invented geometry. He can come at us from any angle he wants to. On top of that, what would a letter to the church in America sound like today? That one would be tough to read, I think. And then how does it apply to me personally? We'll talk about the eras, or some scholars think the eras are the church ages. You'll see, what era could we be in today? Some folks believe it's the church at Philadelphia, that brotherly love name. But anyway, we'll go from there. I want to close with that, and that's your challenge. What would a letter from Jesus to you sound like? And when was the last time you were persecuted for the sake of righteousness? All right, we love you. We'll see you next week. That's the letter to the church at Smyrna. Bye.